Most people think that they have seen their money because they can open up a bank app, check their balance, scroll through their transactions. But because they see a number in their account, they just assume that they understand what their money is doing. But here's the deal: seeing your balance is not the same thing as seeing your money clearly, because a balance only tells you how much money is there right now. Your balance doesn't show you how your money actually moved. Your balance doesn't show you the patterns behind your spending. And your balance doesn't show you what your money is consistently supporting in your life. And until you can see those patterns clearly, it is almost impossible to direct your money intentionally, because the balance or your totals only shows you the outcome. Patterns is what's going to explain the behavior that created it. Let me give you a simpler example. I want you to think about doing laundry. When you look at the laundry basket, you can see how full it is. But that doesn't tell you how it got that full. There's a pattern that created the fullness. So maybe the pattern is, maybe it's workout clothes, maybe it's work outfits, maybe it's towels that pile up every few days, right? The basket shows you the total, but it doesn't explain the pattern. Your money works in a similar way. Your bank balance is the laundry basket. It shows you the result, but it doesn't show you the habits that filled it. And until you see the patterns, it's going to be very hard to change the outcome. I want you to think about opening up your bank account right now. You're going to see a number, and that number may be higher than you expected. It could be lower than you expected, but that number doesn't explain anything. It's just the number. It doesn't show you patterns. It doesn't show you priorities. It doesn't even show you where your life is actually being funded. It only shows a final amount, a final score that's a snapshot right now. Welcome back to another episode of the Breakthrough Bestie podcast. I am your host, Angela Brock, and I'm a money strategist for women who are ready to take control of their finances and build real wealth. So, this is the second video in this series where we're talking about taking control of your money. So, if you haven't seen the previous video, I want to encourage you to go and watch it, right? In this particular episode, we are talking about how seeing beyond your bank balance will give you better control over your finances. So, let's get into it. I want you now to think about a junk drawer. Listen, I grew up with a junk drawer, right? And there was all kinds of stuff in this junk drawer. At first, things get tossed inside, right? There's batteries, random cables, pins that may or may not work, right? There are key cards, keys that go to stuff, right? And eventually, over time, I find myself digging through the drawer looking for stuff, and it just becomes frustrating because I know that there's things in there, right? But because they're just in there all haphazardly, I can't see anything clearly. And honestly, I can't find anything. Now, imagine if you were to take out that jump drawer and empty everything out. And then you just start sorting everything, grouping the similar items. Suddenly, the same items feel manageable. Nothing changed about what was in the drawer. The only thing that changed was how clearly you could see what was in the drawer. Managing your money works exactly the same way. And honestly, categorizing is the first step in the CAP framework. Categorizing your money simply means giving every dollar a place, putting it in a category. So, categories could be housing, food, transportation, convenience, lifestyle, future goals, savings, whatever is relevant for your life. Now, listen, you can Google a bunch of different categories and it will give you ideas, but the categories need to match your real life. And the more specific the category, the better it is, right? Because once your money is grouped clearly, then patterns become visible and patterns determine outcomes. I want you to think about packing for a trip. If you throw everything randomly into a suitcase, and maybe that's you, okay? And if that's you, here's freedom, right? You technically packed, but finding anything later becomes a hassle. Now imagine if you were to pack intentionally. You put your clothes together, your toiletries together, your electronics are organized. The same items suddenly feel easier to manage. Your money and your finances work the same way. Here's the deal. Here's the key. Here's the trick. Organization creates clarity. So I want you to ask yourself this question and answer honestly. Do I actually see how my money is supporting my life? Or do I just see a number in my bank account? Because clarity is what allows direction to begin. And once you see your money clearly, you start noticing something even more important, whether your money is supporting the life you want or simply repeating habits that you've gotten used to. Here's your anchor. Your balance shows you totals. Categories reveal behavior, and behavior determines your financial future. Hey, so if this video helped you to see your money differently, I want you to subscribe so that you can continue building habits that lead to real wealth. I want you to remember these two things. One, breakthrough starts when you decide to take control. And then two, wealth is not built by accident, it is built by the decisions that you make today. I'll see you next time.